Recently I had an epiphany. My new headset mic is just as bad as my old one, isn't it? Damn it.
Recently I had an epiphany. Sonic Colors is the best controlling boost game. Wait, hold on. Listen, I don't know what it is, but whatever fine-tuning Sonic Team did to that data fork of Hedgehog Engine 1 for the Wii was great. I think Sonic controls really well in this game. He can turn really reliably, especially while boosting. I mean, just look at that man. Dude can barely move in a clean circle in Generations. And in Forces... oh my god. Genuinely, the only things I would change about this control scheme are the stomp stopping your horizontal velocity and the wisps not stopping for half a second just to activate. Also, this is the only modern Sonic game to have both the double jump and the air dash. It just can't stop winning.
Baldy nose hair!
Yet with such great controls comes, well, not ideal level design, let's just say. See, the boost formula had already been established by 3 games up to this point: Sonic Rush Adventure, and Sonic Unleashed. The philosophy was simple: you will never do good on these stages at first. The goal is to memorize the level design to eventually get a perfect, satisfying run of the stage. It's a great philosophy. Now, Sonic Colors? Well, it just doesn't follow up on this. The game is centered around the Wisps, which are one-time power-ups that can let Sonic move in crazy ways. On paper, I love the Wisps because they can spice up the level design by potentially creating shortcuts specifically designed around them. And the game does do this at times, like this part in Tropical Resort Act 2, or this part in Sweet Mountain Act 1. In execution, Sonic Team went with a different main focus: exploration. Sonic Colors levels are made with exploration in mind to get high scores for the S ranks rather than fast memory and reaction-based gameplay. I don't dislike this. In fact, this different approach to level design is why most people who like this game. I do wish that the levels also permitted that fast-paced gameplay with, I don't know, more branching paths specifically made for high speed, or, as I said earlier, more wisp shortcuts. But why am I bringing up all of this in the first place if I'm just saying stuff you probably already heard? Well, because in our expansive community of modders who have all done amazing things with these games. No one's cracked this one, damn it. So basically, this game being a Wii game doesn't do it any favors in the slightest. Now, I'm not going to sit here and ignore all the mods that do exist for this game. They're great. I like a lot of them. This Blaze mod, all of these texture mods, and whoa, holy shit. But despite all of these, this game has no level mods. Now, why is that? Generations is the golden child. Frontiers has a ton of cyberspace mods. They're even backporting Generations levels into Unleashed. Even Sonic Forces has some... I sound like Radical Soda right now. Point is, all of the modern Boost Sonic games have at least one fully custom stage mod. Except Colors. To put it simply, the game's collision format hasn't been cracked. You know, collision, the thing that prevents you from... As you can probably tell, this is a very big hindrance. You can change the level model all you want, but no matter what, you are not getting past this wall in Tropical Resort Act 1, which really sucks, because Act 2 is right there. And you know, I get it, right? Why go through the effort of cracking Sonic Colors when this game is sitting right here, nice and pretty on our PCs? It would just be cool, man. I feel like the same argument can be applied to Unleashed, right? Like, why would we dedicate time to modding the game trapped in PS3/Xbox 360 hell when Generations is virtually identical? Also, I think demaking and backporting is really cool, actually. Imagine Green Hill or Windmill Isle downscaled for a Wii to handle playing like Sonic Colors. I just think it would be cool. Okay, I've said this so many times, but you get it. Again, I love a game where the levels are fast-paced and designed around the wisps to be used in fun ways to allow for skips. Wait a minute, that game does exist and it's Sonic Colors on the DS. This game is really fun. If the Wii version were like this version, it'd be top 3 Sonic games gameplay wise. That's my hot take of the day. Despite everything I said, there's still hope in custom levels, because you know what we can edit? The object layouts. It may be in one of the most inconvenient ways ever, requiring these separate programs open at once to have any sort of visual clarity, but it's there. A user by the name of SK Merrick has been developing an object editor for the game. You can find the repository in a GitHub link in the description. Oh wow, he's the same guy who made this video, which is like where my Sonic Colors fixation began. Whoa. Using this, we can both remove and put new objects in the levels. But what's the point in adding objects if we can't edit the foundation of the stage itself? Our answer lies in Gameland. Yup. Dude, no one talks about Gameland. While we can't do much with the aesthetic here, we can edit the terrain because Gameland's terrain is actually put together with pre-made objects connected like puzzle pieces. It's actually really neat. Reminds me of Mario Maker in a way. Now, with everything I just said in mind, here's Tropical Resort Act 2 from Generations 3DS. Okay, sorry to get your hopes up. Did I mention that editing the stuff is extremely tedious and inconvenient? The Colors Object Editor doesn't actually have a 3D viewport, it's just text. You can get a not very accurate 3D viewport by adding all the object templates into the Sonic Generations level editor, but this mixed with the constant file replacing and reloading, it's not worth my time, I'm sorry. I would love to make the full stage, but right now this stuff is far, far too primitive. So I'm gonna be honest, there isn't a real reason I made this video now that I think about it. I did want to just yap about nerdy Sonic stuff. I've been digging into Sonic Colors' files a lot recently. But realistically, I guess I'm hoping some insane Sonic modder sees this and figures it out, because that would be really cool. To summarize, this is the most delusional call for action ever.
Hey, so I realize now I forgot to mention Sonic Colors Ultimate entirely throughout this video, and I'm already done with the video by this point, so I'm just gonna go on a little unscripted tangent about its contributions to the modding scene. But like, basically, it didn't do much, you know, the game is a mess, quite the disappointing glitchy mess. The most it did was, you know, they recompiled it in Godot, or Godot, however you pronounce it, that game engine, and it made it just, I guess it made files more accessible. I don't really know. What I care about is the fact that they accidentally left some developer tools in the initial release of the game. So we have those. There's some basic stuff like converting object data into a Generations and Unleashed format. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, Ultimate didn't really do much. Aside from, okay, you know what? Admittedly, that last thing I just mentioned was pretty big. Aside from that, it didn't do much. So yeah.